Communication is simple. It's just not easy. When you clash with other people, it's because of the need and the expectation. There's a miscommunication, if you wish. You can decode human capital around the world. There's some parallels that you can take, or some patterns of behavior that are common. Throughout the globe, this is a global model, if you wish. If you were to divide this into two, there's the two P's to reading people. If you can memorize the two P's, every time there's somebody new that comes into the work, or even thinking about the people at home in your area, look at the two P's. Two P's, just remember two P's. The first one is the pace perspective, understanding the pace perspective. People come at you at different pace, at different speed, if you wish. Some are fast-paced, they're very outgoing and fast-paced, and others are reserved, slower paced. One is not better or worse, it is just different. It is just different. If you had to choose right now, you're not locked into this. I'm just curious, I'm just going to take a little poll here in the room. If you could choose right now, you could be 51% one side and 49% the other. You're not locked into this. You could change your mind over supper tonight. By a show of hand, how many here would say, you know what, I'm sensing a little bit more outgoing. Can I see your hand? Okay, thank you. Perfect. For those of you that are a little bit more reserved, again, you're not locked into this. You can be 51% one side and 49 the other. Again, you can change your mind a little bit later. Just curious, by show of hands, how many would say, you know, that I'm a little bit more reserved? Can I see your hand? Okay, so about 1/3 are outgoing and about 2/3 are more reserved. It's always fun to see how you raise your hand. How many is more outgoing? How many is more reserved? Hope he's not going to ask for volunteers. You cannot not communicate. This is the point here. You cannot not communicate. You communicate all the time. You're giving us a lot of clues and cues for us to read. So if I sense that you're a little bit more outgoing, I maybe speed it up. If I'm sensing a little bit more reserve, I'll try not to scare you. Give you a little bit more room. Slow down a little bit. Right? It's the pace perspective. The pace perspective. So if you were to ask yourself a question, if you were to meet our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, do you sense that he's more outgoing or do you sense he's a little bit more reserved if you had to choose right now? Reserve. You see, you cannot not communicate. Either you work with him or not, he tends to be a little bit reserved. So your approach would be different if you wanted to make that connection. The other P, we can divide again the globe into two areas, and this deals with the priority perspective. The priority. Some of you lean towards different priorities. It could be the task, doing, accomplishing, or people interacting and socializing. Again, one is not better or worse, it is just different. What's important to know about the priority perspective, 90% of the conflict that you live right now comes because of the priority perspective. So let's lower it down even more. Let's say 10 to 20% is the pace perspective, and let's say 80 to 90% comes from the priority perspective. You have issues that shows up. Because there's a left side and a right side, and it's different. So let's use the brain. Let's divide the brain. So I have here left side, right side. We divided, and we have a lot of these character building moments. Now you'll notice on the top it has two symbols, and on the bottom it has the same two symbols, they're just in a different location. The circle with the arrow is a symbol that's used to depict male. The circle with the cross on the bottom of it, it's a symbol that's used to depict female. But do you know what they're called? The one for the male is called Mars symbol, and the one for the female is called Venus. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. See, even back then, there's a big paradigm of male, this is the male role, and this is the female role. Even this picture uses the color blue to depict male, and the color pink to depict female. It's just different species. Different species. Research today, the male species, still today, feel that they are the stronger species of the two. Women, on the other hand, know that they are the stronger species between the two. It's just different. It is just different. Things change. Yet the paradigms remain that men and women are different. And it's more about the left side, right side. I understand that men are from Mars, women from Venus. At one point, okay, good read, I love the author and so forth. I'm going to take a different stand. I'm going to say there's as many male or female on the left side of life than there are on the right side of life. One is not better or worse, it is just different. On the right side, it's more people-oriented. They use words like care. Care. Do you care about people? I was asked that question by a neurolinguistic practitioner, a master NLP practitioner. JJ, do you care about people? I know the politically correct answer here. I know what I'm supposed to say. I'm supposed to say yes. But we were like, this is a 9-day course, 12 hours and so forth. And I said to the instructor, could I be honest? He goes, absolutely. I don't give a rip. Exactly, right there. I got labeled, characterized, or pigeonholed. I mean, that's 6 days together, over 60 hours of work, of knowing each other. And I'm asked to speak the truth, and I'm judged for it. I knew it. I should have just said the politically correct answer. Then the instructor asked me, JJ, let me ask you another question. Oh, please do. You're doing such a good job of edifying me. Do you value people? Without even thinking about it. Of course I value people. I wouldn't be in this business if I didn't value people. That brings purpose. It's like, I want to make sure that people get this. Your mess is your message. Then your mission in life is to learn, and it's to share how you came out of it, and give people hope that there is a different way of doing it. Of course I value people. And that's when it hit me. It's the same word. I mean, it means the same thing, yet we get tied up. Because from the right side, they get offended if you say, I don't care. But from the right side, the people from the left, if you say, value, that sounds so cold. I value you. I care about you. It's just different. And this is often where we get into trouble. We often get into trouble.